Imagine the ground slipping away beneath your feet, leaving you with one frantic choice: run from a future you never wanted. That's the moment that sets Addie LaRue's extraordinary life in motion, a life defined by a deal with a dark deity. In 1714, trapped in a small French village and dreading a forced marriage, Addie prays for escape. Desperate, she calls upon a god who answers after dark, and he offers her a bargain. She will live forever, but no one will ever remember meeting her. From the instant she accepts, her existence becomes a haunting paradox. She can roam anywhere, unbound by time, yet she leaves no trace. People forget her the moment she's out of sight, and any proof she tries to create a note, a signature, vanishes in an instant. Even her own parents can't recall the child they raised. It's not the glorious freedom she imagined. Instead, it's a lonely path that forces her to constantly improvise, stealing or sneaking into gatherings just to survive. Each day, she wakes to a world that won't hold on to her face or her name. Yet, Addie refuses to break under the weight of solitude. Through years and continents, she explores art, music, and chance encounters that feed her curiosity. Though she can't sign her name in a ledger or even be the subject of a painting for more than a moment, she learns to leave invisible marks on the people she meets. Her guidance sparks fresh ideas in painters, and her whispered suggestions bloom in composers' minds, though they'll never remember where the inspiration came from. In this quiet rebellion, she finds purpose. She may be erased from memory, but she refuses to vanish entirely. Each new place offers a chance to witness history unfolding: bustling Parisian streets, candlelit taverns brimming with revolution, modern cities pulsing with lights. Every era welcomes her as a wanderer, a silent witness to humanity's triumphs and failures. Luke, the being who granted her curse, appears unexpectedly throughout her life. Sometimes he's smug, pointing out how hopeless her predicament seems. Other times he teases her with what might be something like affection. He says if she yields her soul, she can end this lonely immortality. But Addie is far too stubborn to give in. A spark of defiance burns within her. She might be forced to live unseen, but she will not surrender her spirit to the one who stole her name. This twisted relationship oscillates between adversarial banter and moments that almost resemble companionship. He's the one constant witness to her entire existence, the only one who remembers her from one century to the next. Their dance is a battle of wills, her refusal to give him what he wants, clashing with his endless determination to claim the soul he believes he's owed. After centuries of drifting, something miraculous happens in 2014. Addie enters a New York City bookstore and meets Henry, who looks at her and somehow retains the memory of their encounter. It feels impossible, like a sudden shot of sunlight after an eternal night. For the first time in 300 years, she can form a connection that won't vanish the moment someone glances away. Henry sees her. He says her name and doesn't forget it. Their bond grows quickly, fueled by wonder on both sides. Addie finally has someone to share her stories with, tales of wars, revolutions, and distant lands that she's experienced firsthand. Henry, meanwhile, has burdens of his own. He's made a deal that leaves him vulnerable to others' perceptions, living in constant fear of never being enough. Yet in Addie, he finds acceptance that no one else can give him. Their love is a tender collision of two souls who've both bargained away parts of themselves, yearning to break free from the shadows of those deals. But nothing comes without a price. As Addie and Henry grow closer, the question of what happens next looms. Curses rarely fade away because of affection alone, and the devil who cursed Addie hasn't forgotten her. Luke reappears, stirring up tension between Addie's desire for genuine human connection and her determination never to yield to him. She clings to Henry, desperate to keep this one slice of normalcy. In a life defined by forgetfulness, she wants to believe it's possible to build something lasting. Yet, the curse's power weighs on them, and they both realize that time is running out. Henry's own arrangement demands something from him that Addie might not be able to protect him from. Their fragile happiness feels like walking a tightrope. Thrilling, beautiful, but always one step away from collapse. The heart of this story is the exploration of what it truly means to be alive. Is it enough to simply exist forever, or does a life have to be witnessed and remembered? Addie's curse magnifies a universal fear. The dread of leaving no mark on the world. And yet, she finds purpose in small victories, moments of inspiration she gifts to strangers. The surge of an idea that transforms into a painting, or the flicker of hope she brings to someone's eyes. Even without a name to attach to her deeds, she shapes the world in her own clandestine way. Her ongoing struggle with Luke illustrates how stubborn hope can be. He expects her to eventually crumble, but she endures, forging her own meaning in a life no one can recall. By the end, she's faced with the impossible decisions about what she's willing to sacrifice. The book's conclusion leaves readers contemplating whether freedom is worth the loneliness it demands, or if any bond, no matter how fragile, is worth holding onto at all costs. Addie LaRue's journey challenges the boundaries between love and possession, visibility and invisibility, and the lengths we'll go to feel alive. It's a quiet cry against the darkness that tries to swallow us whole, a refusal to let time erase everything we've been. If this glimpse into Addie's tale captured your imagination, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more summaries of unforgettable stories. Leave a comment with your thoughts on Addie's journey, and let us know which book you'd like us to explore next. Thanks for watching, and until we meet again, happy reading!